Before we get into the video, could everyone please subscribe to my channel? Thank you so much. In high school, I fell in love with the aloof school beauty who came from a poor family. I gave her designer clothes, high-end shoes and bags, and even set up a scholarship fund in her name. She didn't do well on the college entrance exam, but I scored very well. To be with her, I gave up a top domestic university and spent money to attend a second-rate foreign college with her. After returning to the country, we soon married and had a son and a daughter. But on our wedding anniversary, I came home early to surprise her and saw her rolling naked in bed with her first love. I rushed forward to strangle the cuckold, but she stabbed me in the heart with a knife. She shouted at me in fury, "You were the one who tore us apart back then. Ugh, an empty-headed second-generation rich kid like you dares to covet me." When I opened my eyes again, I had returned to the day I was setting up the scholarship fund for her. Her beautiful face was full of disgust toward me. "So, what if you have a couple of stinky bucks? I don't need your pity." I nodded. "Fine then. I'm canceling the scholarship fund." At the Monday school assembly, Principal Mr. Anderson announced excitedly, "Ethan Johnson has personally donated $2 million to establish the Magnolia Scholarship Fund to help struggling students with tuition and living expenses. Let's give him a warm round of applause." It was only when the whole school erupted in thunderous applause that I suddenly came to my senses. I was reborn and into my senior year of high school. I instinctively glanced to the front left and, sure enough, saw a familiar face, campus beauty Sophia Taylor. In my previous life, I was Sophia's single follower. From the day we entered high school, I fell for her at first sight. I laid my heart bare and treated her with all my devotion. To cheer her up, I bought her the latest handbags and clothes. She liked seafood and fruit, so I flew them in from abroad and had them delivered to her doorstep. I put all my effort into trying to make her happy. As long as she would speak one more word to me, I would feel indescribably happy. But at that time, she had a boyfriend, her top student childhood friend, David John. I hadn't intended to interfere until I discovered her boyfriend was selling her explicit photos online. I was furious. I spent a fortune buying up all the photos and even hired someone to give him a severe beating. They broke up later, and I was very happy. I wanted to give her something more special, so I set up this scholarship fund. It's called a Yulon flower because that's Sophia's favorite flower. All the students who received support were very grateful to me. But Sophia alone felt I was humiliating her with money. She was so angry she didn't speak to me for a week. Terrified, I bought her 3 limited edition bags to placate her. After the college entrance exam, her results were disappointing. While I performed exceptionally and was admitted to a well-known local university, she said she didn't want to attend a community college. Seeing the goddess in tears, I resolutely gave up my studies in China and followed her abroad to attend a diploma mill university. Abroad, Sophia finally accepted my proposal. I was ecstatic. Later, my parents passed away, and the company came into my hands to give her enough security. The imported coupe, the villa in the city center, everything was put in her and the child's name. But on the day of our 7th wedding anniversary, I, who was on a business trip, came home early to surprise her, only to catch her in an affair with her first love and childhood friend. In a heat of anger, I lunged forward to strangle David's neck. Unexpectedly, my 2 children clung to my legs on either side, shouting, "Bad man, you are not allowed to hurt Daddy." "Dad!" My child actually called the seducer Daddy. I was shocked and heartbroken. While hesitating, Sophia stabbed me in the chest with a small knife. I fell to the ground, eyes wide, questioning her. "I've been so good to you. I plucked the stars from the sky for you. Why are you treating me like this?" Sophia looked at me with pure disgust. "It was you who broke us apart back then. If you hadn't had those few lousy coins, do you think I would have married you?" Her lover, David Jean, grinned and slung an arm around Sophia's waist. "Mr. Ethan, your custom mattress worth millions is indeed comfortable to sleep on. Also, thank you for raising a child for me. Go and die in peace. I'll take good care of your company and your wife for you." I spat blood, dying with my eyes closed. Unexpectedly, when I opened my eyes again, I had been reborn. This time, I will never repeat the same mistakes. Is it just about 2 lousy bucks? Who are you insulting? We don't need your pity. Seeing the disgust on Sophia's pretty face, I sneered inwardly. Her words echoed in my mind. It was you who broke us up back then. Your parents died of strokes. You got cheated on. Serve you right. I kindly bought her private photos and chased away the scumbag. She blamed me for breaking them up. Fine, then I won't get involved this time. Although Sophia said she hated my behavior, in reality, she never missed collecting the scholarship fund even once a month in her previous life. She even asked to receive a double share of the aid for herself. When I heard that, I didn't think anything was wrong. On the contrary, I cried with joy because she accepted my support. Right now, I just want to slap myself. No sooner had Sophia finished speaking than her friend Olivia immediately chimed in. Exactly. We're all students. Does she really think she's some kind of savior, showing off like that at school? The looks they gave me grew more and more hostile, though they didn't make a peep when it came to collecting money. I nodded in agreement. I think you're right. Olivia froze, not expecting me to say that. On stage, Principal Mr. Anderson pulled apart the red ribbon and invited me up to cut it. I swiftly jumped onto the podium, took the microphone from the principal's hand, and announced it to everyone. Everyone, a student just approached me privately and accused me of using a little money to insult you all. I reflected seriously and realized they're right. So this scholarship fund is canceled. When I finished speaking, the whole school, students and teachers, stunned across the crowd. Sophia and I made eye contact. I could clearly see her shocked, astonished expression. Wasn't it pride? Didn't she think my money was filthy? Then I won't give it to you. A single stone sent ripples 1,000 layers deep. Many needy students began searching everywhere for the culprit. After searching around, their gazes fixed on Sophia. People around Sophia whispered among themselves. I just heard it. Sophia said it. She said the school is clean, not a place for Ethan to flaunt his filthy money. And her bestie, too. The two of them egged each other on and made Ethan angry. Poor students from other classes shouted angrily, Sophia, Ethan is your worshiper. You live so well off of money. Why are you ruining us? Exactly. That money could have let my parents work. Less, and now, because of one sentence from you, we have no money to get. Olivia cried out. It's not our fault. Ethan chose to cancel it himself. The principal and the teachers from the academic office also came to persuade me. And I sighed heavily. Don't blame Sophia. I think she's right. I'm just an incompetent, rich second generation who only knows how to spend money. Although the financial aid for needy students has been canceled, I plan to establish an incentive scholarship to reward students with good grades and foster a culture of serious study at the school. After I finished speaking, I deliberately looked at Sophia's expression. Sure enough, it was darker than the bottom of a pot. Her grades have always been at the very bottom, so she shouldn't expect to get a single cent of that money. After I jumped down from the podium, Sophia looked at me as if she could breathe fire. She shouted, Ethan, I hate you. I shrugged, unmoved. At that moment, I received a call from my mother, Emma. Son, about the scholarship fund you mentioned setting up at the school last time. I thought it over. $2 million is indeed a bit. I'll increase it to $5 million for you. The moment I heard my mother's voice, tears almost welled up in my eyes. This familiar voice. How many years has it been since I last heard it? In my previous life, she suddenly had a stroke. Her eyes and mouth skewed. She couldn't even speak normally. As her son, I could do nothing. Soon, the voice of Dad, James, came through the phone. $5 million isn't enough. If our son wants to do charity, we have to support him. Add another $2 million. My father's voice almost made me break down and cry. In my previous life, he suffered a sudden stroke. The proud chairman of the group became a vegetable, unable to care for himself, and was gone within 2 years. Sophia said it was all their own fault. I couldn't help but wonder whether my parents' fate had something to do with her. This time, I'll make sure to find out everything and protect my family properly. Mom, you don't need to transfer me any money. I canceled that scholarship fund. My classmates at school don't care about our stinking money, so why give it to them? At noon during the break, as usual, I ate at an upscale Western restaurant outside the school. Halfway through the meal, Sophia arrived uninvited with Olivia. The two of them sat down directly in front of me, took the menus the waiter handed them, and began to order. Olivia pointed at the first page of the menu showing king crab and Australian lobster. First, bring one of each of these new dishes. She turned her head. Sophia, Valentine's Day is coming soon. They also have a sweet couples set for two. Do you want to bring one to David? Sophia glanced at the set's contents. It has the Wagyu he loves, so pack one up. David's family is poorer than hers. How could they afford Wagyu? They all leech off me. When I was brown-nosing Sophia before, I took her out to eat every day outside school. She gave me a cold face, but her body was honest. Not only did she come herself, she brought her best friend. Today, she even insisted on packing a double couple set for her boyfriend right in front of me. If I had any temper, I wouldn't stand for this. Unfortunately, in my past life, my head was kicked by a donkey. I accepted it all. Olivia ordered every expensive seafood item on the menu. I clicked my tongue, and she immediately said, "Ethan, with your billions, you wouldn't be fussing over such a small amount, would you?" I smiled and said nothing. Olivia snorted and gave me an appraising look from head to toe. If you want a war, Sophia, don't you need to show some sincerity? So many people like our Sophia, to stand in line like everyone else. Sophia frowned. Why say so much to him? He's just a Nepo baby. They wouldn't get along. The table was piled with seafood, and the set meals were packed up according to Sophia's request. I left as soon as I finished eating. They didn't care about me either, burying their heads in their food, leaving a table full of seafood shells. The two of them finished, wiped their mouths, and were about to leave, but were stopped by the waiter. Two of you. The total is $53,000. Card or cash? The two of them froze. Olivia fumbled. Why are you asking us for money? Ask Ethan. He's always the one who treats us. The waiter smiled. Sorry, Mr. Ethan didn't pay for you today. I'm afraid you'll have to cover this bill yourselves, ladies. Olivia grew anxious. It's just one meal. How can it cost $50,000? Do you think we're students trying to be ripped off? The waiter protested unfairly. Both of you ordered our restaurant's signature seafood. $53,000 already takes into account Mr. Johnson's VIP discount. If you don't have the money, we'll have to call the police. Actually, the place did have cheap staples, which they could afford, but the two were too greedy and ordered nothing but the good stuff. We're all poor students. Where do we get 50,000 yuan to pay for a meal? The moment she heard the shop was going to call the police, Olivia burst into tears and grabbed Sophia's arm, shaking. Sophia, call Ethan right now. Tell him to come back and pay. Sophia bit her lower lip, looking both angry and stubborn. She walked over, dialed my number, and spoke as if giving an order. Ethan, transfer me $60,000. I need to pay for food. I laughed and immediately hung up on her. There were only $53,000 before the meal, and she asked for $60,000. You really take me for an ATM? When Sophia returned, Olivia anxiously asked her, How was it? Did Ethan give you the money? Sophia's face was bright red, not sure whether from anger or embarrassment. She clenched her phone and said angrily, I didn't call him at all. Haven't you noticed? He's deliberately trying to humiliate both of us. And I'm not going to let him succeed. It's only $53,000. I can come up with it. Standing on the third floor, I watched it all with cold eyes. I wanted to see how Sophia would come up with $53,000 without me as her ATM. Sophia took off a diamond bracelet from her wrist and pressed it onto the counter. This is worth $100,000. Keep the change. She turned to leave, but was stopped by the clerk. Miss, how much this is worth isn't up to you to decide. Besides, our shop only accepts cash or card payments. We don't accept pawn items. Sophia cried sharply. Doesn't anyone in your shop know a good gem when they see one? This is a rare South African diamond. One stone is worth tens of thousands. The waiter didn't care and said plainly, If you can't produce the money, we'll really call the police. The two of them at the front desk had already attracted quite a few customers' attention. People whispered and pointed at them. Previously, when she accompanied me to upscale places, Sophia was always surrounded and fawned over by people. She had never experienced what it felt like to be pointed at by 1,000 accusing eyes. She lowered her head, her face flushed as if it could bleed, stammering, Then I'll leave this with you for now. I'm going out to get something to exchange for money. I'll pay when I come back. That diamond bracelet was one I had bought for her not long ago. She didn't have any money. She must pawn my gift to get cash. I saw her go downstairs straight to the pawn shop, and when she came out, the designer bag I gave her was gone. Sophia paid before the meal, and Olivia cheered happily. I knew you could handle it, Sophia. Sophia's face went pale. She bit her lip hard enough to break it. Olivia immediately said, "That awful Ethan treated both of us so badly. You must never pay any attention to him again." A look of disgust flashed in Sophia's eyes. "That scumbag is really disgusting. Just looking at him makes me want to vomit." Standing upstairs, I took it all in. Come to think of it, I still paid for this meal. They ate with my things, used my stuff, and, in the end, reduced me to nothing. In my last life, I was really too pathetic, even able to endure this kind of humiliation. Not long after returning to school, Sophia appeared in front of me. She slapped the table, demanding I settle accounts with her. "Ethan, what did you mean by that at lunch today?" I feigned surprise. "What do you mean?" Sophia pointed at my nose and scolded. "You treated the two of us to lunch, but made us pay our own way. Are you even a man?" I frowned in confusion. "When did I say I treated you two to a meal? Didn't you both sit down in front of me on your own?" Sophia's face flushed with anger. "You clearly said you wouldn't keep score, and now you won't admit it." I smiled. "If you spend your own money on your own food, what is there for me to keep score about?" Sophia pointed at my finger, trembling repeatedly, clearly furious. "You." I smiled and comforted her. "It was my fault before for insulting you with money. Don't worry, I won't do it again." Sophia saw I truly didn't care about her and was so furious she could go mad. She shouted, "Ethan, aren't you just trying to force me to become your girlfriend? Using such low tactics is despicable." I leaned back in my chair, opened the book, and said lightly, "I didn't mean that. I know you have a genius childhood friend, David. The two of you are well suited. I respect and wish you well." Mentioning her childhood friend, David, made Sophia smug again. "Looks like you aren't even worth a pinky to David. Stop doing those disgusting things. You're only making me despise you more." Sophia snorted, swung her arm, and walked away. In the afternoon, when she was preparing, as usual, to go to the school gate to pick up the freshly airship fruit, she found the driver had simply driven the car away. She chased after the car, shouting, telling it to stop. After the driver stopped, she demanded, "Where are you taking the car now? If you arrived, why didn't you call me in advance?" The driver was baffled. "Why would I call you?" Mr. Johnson said, "These fruits are to be delivered to his house from today on. They have nothing to do with you anymore." Sophia stood dazed in place, having grabbed nothing, only coated in car exhaust. That evening, I carried a coconut I had just picked from a tree in Thailand and dutifully offered it to my mom. "Mom, your son is honoring you. Take a taste." My mom, Emma, shot me a glare. "Don't tell me some other girl didn't want it, and that's why she sent it to your old mom." "Of course not. I had someone specially bring them in from Thailand." My mom shot me a sidelong look, not very convinced. She took the coconut, turned, and snapped a photo to post in the family group chat. I had a bit of heat in the morning, and by evening my son sent coconut water to cool me down. Quite thoughtful, I must say. Aunts and older cousins in the group immediately liked the post and praised Mom for being so lucky. Mom and I exchanged a look across the distance, and I saw her busily start posting to moments again. I had been giving Sophia a fruit for 2 years and hadn't even gotten a single thank you from her. And now it's just a coconut, yet it makes my mom so happy. These are the family members worth protecting with my whole life. The next day was the weekend, but I still saw Sophia. She stood at my doorstep in a white dress, her face icy as she spoke to the housekeeper. "I'm here to give Ethan extra lessons." I remembered earlier, to bring us closer, I even specifically hired Sophia to tutor me. To be honest, my grades were much better than hers. She was a total poor student. It was more like I was tutoring her. But I was pathetic. Every time I invited her over, I not only paid her well, but also took her out to have fun, went shopping, and bought her clothes. Yesterday, she was still scowling and cursing at me. And today, She came over to earn some tutoring money, really cold and ethereal, untouched by the mortal world. Sophia sat across from me and firsthand handed over a photo. Didn't you say last time you needed to hire security? My brother is perfect. Just hire him. You don't need to pay much per month. $20,000 or $30,000 will do. The blonde in the photo looked sleazy. He didn't seem like someone who could protect a home, more like someone who'd steal from it. She went on, "You should know David topped the school again this exam. I see your math is terrible. Why don't you ask him to come tutor you? He doesn't need to charge much. The same hourly rate as me will do." Her hourly rate is $300, not counting the money I spend taking her out. She's trying to rise alone and drag everyone up with her. But that actually reminded me of something. It seems she did the same in her past life, placing many of her own people in my home. The gardener, the driver, the security guards, and I think there was also a housekeeper. Her brother looks familiar. I think I really did see him on the household security team. To find out the truth behind my parents' strokes and resulting paralysis in the previous life, I decided to go along with her for now. Fine, let your brother come to work tomorrow. Hearing me agree again with no reservations, Sophia proudly lifted her chin. Ethan, I haven't forgiven you for what happened before. If you want to make me happy, this time you have to buy me a Hermes crocodile bag. A Hermes crocodile bag costs several $100,000. She really dares to ask for that. I didn't speak. I looked down at the tablet. Sophia leaned over to look at my tablet, too. And when she saw the content clearly, she let out a shriek. You pervert. On my tablet were private photos of Sophia that her childhood friend David was selling online. Sophia tried to snatch the tablet from my hands. You're really insane. You'll stop at nothing to get me. I was baffled. What are you doing? I bought these photos of a beautiful woman online with my own money. The cover looks a lot like you. It can't possibly be you, right? Sophia froze for a moment, then immediately withdrew her hand and shook her head in denial. This isn't me. How could it be me? You pervert buying photos like this. I rolled my eyes anyway. It's not you. What does it matter to you? Sophia stomped her foot in fury, but she couldn't admit it. She ran off crying, and I had no intention of chasing after her. The nanny came over to coax me. Young master, aren't you going to chase after her? Girls have moods. You have to soothe them. That girl is really nice. Don't let her get driven away. I looked at the nanny's face and suddenly had a flash of insight. Auntie, what's your surname again? My surname is Taylor. I made an O sound, feeling like I had misunderstood. Just before going upstairs, I asked one more question. What's your husband's surname? A strange expression flickered across Aunt Taylor's face. She stammered. His surname is Jang. Young master, is there a problem? Ah, so his surname is Jang. I smiled and replied, no problem. Just after school got out, Sophia and David blocked my way out of the school. David sneered at me. Come with us, or you'll regret it. I followed the two of them to the small grove behind the school. Sophia's eyes were red, as if she were suffering a tremendous grievance. She came up wanting to slap me first. David already told me. You threatened him to send those photos to you. You can't have me, so you use such despicable means. Ethan, how can a person be as pathetic as you? I nimbly dodged her slap. At the same time, I glanced at David beside us. She sells my girlfriend's photos herself and still tries to pin it on me. Really impressive. David immediately stepped forward and whispered a threat in my ear. You have to confess to this. I know your mom takes 3 kinds of medicine every night. Red, yellow, white. If you don't want anything to happen to her. Hearing him use my mom to threaten me, my fury surged to my head. I couldn't stand it any longer and punched David in the face. Sophia screamed. Seeing the bruise on David's face made her heart ache. David, does it hurt? She turned to point at me. You broke the law and still hit someone. I'm calling the police. I'll have you arrested and sent to prison. I sneered. Fine, call them then and see who ends up in prison. David grabbed Sophia. Don't be impulsive. Our goal is the money. If we actually get him arrested, we won't get any money. Sophia instantly fell silent, like a delicate little bird clinging to someone. David, I'll do whatever you say. So, in the end, it was all about money. How much do you want? $5 million. David made a wildly exorbitant demand. With $5 million, we could study abroad. He hadn't gotten a guaranteed admission spot and was holding a grudge. He wanted to use studying abroad to slap the guaranteed admission students in the face. Sophia shook her head. Not enough for a scumbag like him. At least $10 million. I looked at David and the housekeeper's very similar faces, and a thought suddenly occurred to me. I couldn't just let this scumbag man and bitch woman off so easily. I really wasn't willing. You want money, huh? Fine. I'll give it to you. Fine. I'll give you $10 million. David didn't expect I would actually agree. While Sophia looked utterly certain, she said arrogantly, "This money can only be considered as a spiritual compensation from you to me. We'll have to carefully calculate the money for you threatening David later and for the punch you gave him." Buoyed by her, David puffed out his chest. "Right? We can't just let this go. $10 million definitely isn't enough." As expected, people's hearts are greedy. Even $10 million couldn't satisfy their appetite. I shrugged indifferently. Fine then, I don't need the money anyway. The way the two of them looked at me was as if they wanted to tear me apart. Isn't $10 million too little? His dad is worth over $100 million. Don't worry, we have leverage on him. We'll get it bit by bit. While I got home that night, I indeed saw a blonde in the security team. I heard him bragging to the guards behind and beside me. "See that? That's my sister's. Been singing for 3 years. I'm only working as a security guard here temporarily. As soon as my sister says 2 words to him, I'll be able to move into one of the villas tomorrow." I asked the butler to bring the household staff roster. You don't realize it until you look. Once you do, you're shocked. There were 3 people named Jang just in the kitchen, and the motorcade had as many as 5 tailors. I asked the steward, "Are these people all relatives?" The steward nodded. "They're all relatives?" Introduced each other. They said it was arranged by the young master. Only then did I suddenly realize that, without my noticing, my house had almost been eaten out by that couple. Just then, Mom's driver rushed in. "Bad news, young master. Madam has fainted." I followed the driver to the hospital. The doctor had just finished all the tests on my mom. The doctor scolded. "How are you taking care of the patient? She's clearly allergic to red dates." "So, why did you keep feeding her red dates every day?" My mom, on the bed, had broken out in hives all over from the allergy and was swollen. Hearing the doctor's words, she said, "I'm allergic to red dates." I didn't know. The housekeeper cooked red date porridge for me every day, saying it replenished chi and blood. The doctor said, "You broke out in so many rashes. Didn't you think something was wrong?" My mom said, "I felt wronged. The nanny told me it's caused by the change of seasons, so I didn't think much of it." My mom didn't think much of it, but I thought of many things. In my previous life, my mom suddenly fainted at home one day. By the time she was rushed to the hospital for emergency treatment, it was already too late. The doctor said that my mother had long accumulated toxins in her body, and with external triggers, the toxins erupted, ultimately causing a stroke and paralysis. Now that I think about it, it's very likely that those toxins were from the red dates. I also remembered that back then, Sophia loved to give my mother red date supplements. I was even moved at the time, thinking she was filial and cared for my mother. My mom ate all the juju supplements she gave me just to make me happy. Thinking about it now, I'm really damned. I said to the housekeeper beside me, "Contact a lawyer and sue that nanny to death." David's mom said, "Huh? Spend the rest of your life waiting to rot in prison." Soon, my father also arrived at the hospital. He sighed heavily. "The secretary says you want to take $10 million. Who is that money for?" My mother, on the hospital bed, was so shocked she nearly sat up. $10 million? Why do you need that much? Is it to give to that girl again? I nodded in admission, and my parents' eyes instantly lost their light. I knew they were truly disappointed in me. I had thought I was no longer Sophia's, but now the very first words out of my mouth were $10 million. Although my family is wealthy, $10 million in cash is not a small amount. I hurried to reassure them. "Mom, Dad, this money will be put to use, and it will be back in a while." They exchanged a glance and silently nodded, but it was clear they didn't believe me. "Honey, if our son needs $10 million, just give it to him. What could be more important than making our son happy?" My dad looked worried. Well, at worst, we'll sell some stocks. If you urgently need the money, we'll give it to you first. My eyes were slightly red. Even if they felt hurt, they didn't refuse my request. This is my family who loves me. I vowed in my heart that I would make those people pay. Mom's fainting this time served as a warning. I also had my dad undergo a medical checkup at the hospital. Dad's driver said, "Mr. Johnson's health is fine. His annual checkups never show any problems." In my previous life, Dad suddenly suffered a stroke and became a vegetable, which devastated me. The doctor said it was either an existing illness or an external trigger. If his body was fine, then it's most likely that an external stimulus caused it. I closed my eyes and thought carefully. A sudden flash came to mind. I remembered the scene the day Dad was hospitalized with cerebral palsy. That day, besides the driver, Sophia had also gone to the hospital with us. At the time, her clothes were buttoned wrong. I thought then that she was in a hurry to take my dad to the hospital. Thinking back now, it's very possible that my dad caught her and David in an affair, which led to a ruptured cerebral blood vessel and left him a vegetative cerebral palsy patient. I want to be here. My eyes burned with anger, wishing I could tear that couple to pieces right now. As agreed, I wired $10 million into David's account. The two of them became multimillionaires overnight. The next day, Sophia came to school carrying the Hermes crocodile bag she'd always longed for. The logo on the bag was too flashy, drawing a circle of classmates around her. "Wow, Sophia, your bag is so pretty. Did Ethan buy it for you?" Sophia immediately put on a cold face. "If you can't keep your mouth shut, then shut up. My boyfriend bought this for me. What is Ethan supposed to be?" People quietly sized me up. Many looked gleeful at my expense, but I acted as if I couldn't care less. It wasn't long before David arrived, not to mention his limited edition clothes and shoes, but when he lifted his wrist, the gold Rolex dazzled everyone. "Oh my God, David, did you win the lottery or something? Did you buy the school beauty's bag? You really have means." David smiled slightly. "I didn't win anything. I just did some online investing, and I've recently seen returns." He spoke casually, and everyone admired him all the more. "You're really amazing. Truly a top student. You can even make money online. Unlike some people who just live off their parents' money." David smiled without speaking, took Sophia's hand, and walked out. "Anyway, our plans to go abroad are already set, so why bother with classes? Let's go out and take a walk." Sophia, delighted and shy, said, "Whatever you say." After they left, the whole class was still buzzing with discussion. David really has talent. Not only does he make money, but he also wins beautiful women. Look at that rich second-generation kid in our class. His only advantage used to be money, and now even that advantage is gone. Look how he's pretending to stay calm. Maybe he's cried all his tears dry inside. I didn't care about what those people said and opened my phone to see a message sent by the butler. All those jeans and tailors at home were all fired, and Sophia's brother nearly caused a scene at my place. He was carried out by security and thrown outside. After a little while, Sophia came back, storming over to me and slammed her hand on the table. Out of nowhere, she said, "Why did you fire my brother?" I raised my eyes lazily and said, "He did a poor job. Our employer's not allowed to fire people." Sophia was furious. "You're obviously targeting me. My brother's unemployed now. How is he supposed to support himself?" "Then you support him. You already took $10 million US and you're still worried about this little bit of money. What are you talking about? That money was all earned by my boyfriend." I smiled. "I never said it wasn't, did I? Why are you so worked up?" All right. So, you're playing tricks on me, huh?" Sophia gritted her teeth, nearly grinding them to pieces. Suddenly, whispers broke out in the classroom. Many people held their phones, glancing between their screens. "And Sophia. Do you think that's Sophia? They look very similar, but it shouldn't be. She's the innocent campus belle. How could she have taken such explicit photos? Look, the woman in the photo has a mole on her neck. Sophia seems to have one on her neck, too." Sophia clapped a hand over her neck, took 3 quick steps toward the man, and snatched his phone. After seeing the photo, Sophia screamed and smashed the phone to the ground. She lunged at me, trying to scratch my face with her nails. "Ethan, why don't you just die? How dare you sell my photos? I'll kill you. I'm really innocent." I wasn't the one who sold her photos from start. I dodged her attack, and she grabbed the books on the table and hurled them at me. I'll call the police. I'll have them arrest you and sentence you so you never get out. I nodded. Fine, hurry up. I can't wait. She was so furious her hair was practically standing on end. She pulled out her phone and called the cops. By the time David rushed in, it was all too late. He tried to stop Sophia, but Sophia shouted, "Don't stop me. Today I will fight this beast to the death." After investigation, the police decided to take David away. Sophia was taken aback and clung to the officer's arm, refusing to let go. Are you mistaken? How could it be David? The instigator is right in front of you. It's him, Ethan. The police said, earlier, we received a tip that someone was selling private photos online. There are many people involved in the case, and your boyfriend is among them. You called to report it today, which happened to allow us to close the net. David stood beside her with his head down, saying nothing. In fact, he already had $10 million. But because Sophia was truly beautiful and the photos sold very well, he didn't stop. In my past life, I paid to buy the photos from his hands and even had someone teach him a lesson. Out of fear, he broke up with Sophia. But Sophia thought I'd come between them and force him apart. So she took revenge on me, even targeting my family. In this life, I stayed out of it, let his business grow bigger and bigger, and also let Sophia gain some fame online. Sophia shook her head repeatedly. Impossible. How could he be my boyfriend? It's Ethan. You got the wrong person. The IP address and the evidence all point to your boyfriend. Young lady, calm down. Seeing the police about to take David away, Sophia suddenly went mad and shouted, I know. It was Ethan who paid you off, right? You took his money. That's why you're trying to arrest David. Come look. The police are arresting the wrong person. This was a very serious accusation. The mild-mannered policeman put on a stern face. Young lady, as an involved party, you need to come with us. David kept his head down the whole time and didn't speak. Hearing that, he couldn't help but scold Sophia. All right, you idiot. Shut up. It's not a big deal. Just get the money and bail me out in a couple of days. His words confirmed his actions, and Sophia was stunned for a moment. Is it really you? How could it be you? David shouted irritably. Isn't it because you're so damn flirtatious? Always striking those poses. What's wrong with me taking a couple of photos and selling them? Sophia froze where she stood. Her face drained of color. She covered her face and sobbed aloud. How could you do this to me? I trusted you so much. I like you so much. In her past life, whenever Sophia puckered her lips, I'd feel heartbreak. But now, seeing her weeping uncontrollably, I only found it ugly. All right, stop crying. Isn't this embarrassing enough? David scolded her, and Sophia cried even louder. The police were pressing David's head as they let him out. I called out to stop them. Wait, I also have something to report. Sophia whipped around while David looked deathly pale. What do you want to report? Someone is blackmailing me for $10 million. A $10 million blackmail, setting a new record at the station. David was charged with multiple offenses and locked up in the detention center. Not only must he repay me, but he also has to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars in fines. After he finished serving more than 10 years in prison, he was exhausted. Sophia came to my door to beg for mercy, but I turned her away. It was pouring rain outside. She pounded on my front door. Ethan, I'm willing to be your girlfriend. I know I misunderstood you. Open the door so we can talk properly. The beauty in the rain was soaked through and looked so pitiful, but I felt no stirring of emotion or pity. My parents couldn't stand it and urged me, let the poor girl in. It's pouring out there. I sneered coldly. When she teamed up with another man to swindle me out of $10 million, she had no sympathy for me. Soon, Sophia's family arrived. A yellow-haired guy slapped Sophia's back. What time is it already, and you're still pretending to be so high and mighty? Kneel down and beg him. It's all your fault you cost me this job. So hurry up and beg my brother-in-law properly. The yellow-haired guy looked up and shouted toward my room on the second floor. Brother-in-law, my sister really realizes she was wrong this time. And that guy didn't do anything at all. Please forgive her this once. Sophia's mom joined in shouting, Mr. Ethan, this is all our fault. so don't stay mad at our silly girl. When she called me Mr. Ethan, I suddenly realized she seemed to have worked at my house before. No wonder there were always rumors at home, saying there was a cleaner who always claimed to be my mother-in-law and acted arrogantly toward the other cleaners. So was Sophia's mother. Sophia fell to her knees, sobbing and crying. Ethan, I was wrong. I shouldn't have misunderstood you. I know you're the one who's treated me best in this world. The photos weren't sold by you. You still have feelings for me, right? Hearing this, I almost wanted to laugh. Sophia kept shouting, "Let's start over, Ethan. I'm willing to accept your support and go abroad to study with you. As long as you..." Clatter, cold water usually splashes straight down from the second floor. I pulled back the basin in my hand, expressionless. Take your bunch of parasitic family members and get out of here. Within 3 days, return everything you stole from my house. Otherwise, the surveillance footage will be sent to the police immediately. Then wait to see your whole family go to jail. Sophia's family immediately panicked and knelt on the ground with her, begging for mercy. Mr. Ethan, please don't. Mr. Ethan, those are just small trinkets. They're worthless. Brother-in-law, we're family. Surely you won't mind a little. Tobacco and alcohol. Sophia got up from the ground and started to go mad, pushing and shoving them. It's all your fault. Chasing that little bit of cheap gain. Now look, there's nothing left. Sophia's mom got angry too and slapped Sophia across the face. If you hadn't been so proud, if you'd hooked up with Mr. Ethan sooner, I'd be his mother-in-law now. The blonde younger brother joined in anger. You were blinded by your own greed, insisting on being with that David. Now look, even the golden tortoise son-in-law is gone. The 3 of them were making a scene under my building. The security guard showed up just in time and cleared them all out. My parents asked me, "You really don't like that girl anymore?" I gave a cold laugh. Like her, I wanted to spit out everything she ate. After Sophia realized I was determined to ignore her, she put her hopes on David. She wanted to pay for the best lawyer for David, but she had no money on hand. So, she started selling the expensive gifts I had given her. I had already notified all the pawn shops and second-hand dealers in the city in advance. All the things I bought were numbered. Anyone who dared to accept them would be crossing Johnson Group. Sophia tried selling around the market and found that no one would take anything from her. So, in desperation, she could only set up a stall by the roadside. I called the urban management officers, had them drive her away, and had the things she was selling confiscated. She threw a tantrum in the street, rolling on the ground and crying and screaming, long since losing her original aloof demeanor. The officers were used to people like her. No matter how much she made a scene, it was of no use. Not only did the goods not sell, but everything was confiscated. At home, her mother and younger brother nagged her every day to get money. Sophia, disheartened, could only return to school to continue her studies. But her photos had already spread all over the school. When she walked, people around her pointed and whispered. She couldn't take it and cried, begging me, "Ethan, please save me. Spend money to buy those photos and shut them up." I asked, "Why should I pay for photos you took yourself?" She looked a little bewildered. "But didn't you love me the most before? If I told you to go east, you'd never go west. Why have you changed now?" I sneered. "So you knew all along that you've been treating me like a dog to order around. But Sophia, you're mistaken. I'm the heir to $100 billion conglomerate, not someone you can command at will. I don't like you anymore. Stop trying that routine on me. It won't work." Sophia realized I wasn't the same as before and finally snapped. "Fine. You won't help me, huh? Then I'll show you I'm going to die." Saying that, Sophia rushed to the windowsill and stood by the window to threaten me. Those around hurriedly urged me, "Please help her. Don't let anyone actually die." I remained unmoved. "If you want to jump, then jump. Don't waste my time." Sophia cried and shouted at me. "You used to like me so much. Why has your heart become so hard now?" I smiled. "Aren't you the one who complained my money smelled? Then don't come asking me for money." As I was speaking, several of the good students who had received my excellent scholarships came into the classroom to thank me. Sophia remembered that not long ago, I had almost set up the Magnolia Scholarship for her. She refused it herself. Her eyes were brimming with tears. "Ethan, do you really not love me anymore? If you don't love me, then I have no reason to keep living. I didn't even lift my eyes. Love you? Don't make me sick. The moment those words left my mouth, Sophia opened the window and jumped from the third floor of the school. She didn't die, but she ended up severely disabled. Her mother and the blonde little brother tried again to come to my door and extort money, but my building security chased them home and retrieved all the things they had stolen from my place before. They immediately became obedient. That year for the college entrance exam, Sophia also didn't take it. She's useless now. I took the exam as scheduled and, like in my previous life, was admitted to a prestigious university. I brought $10 million in the acceptance letter home. The whole family hugged each other excitedly. Later, when I was riding in a Rolls-Royce to the company to take over the family business, I saw a woman selling balloons by the roadside. She sat in a rickety wheelchair, her eyes dull, her cheeks hollow. After the car drove past, I suddenly remembered that it seemed to be Sophia. But what does that have to do with